I know. I told you yesterday.
No, turn it off. It's too noisy, isn't it?
The air conditioning they've just turned on.
Too noisy.
Okay. Some people are having problems, but that's too noisy. So will I turn it off for a while? Yes? Okay.
This is all the peat equipment, isn't it?
Machine museum area. All of the machines out here have been used on the bog. Most of them are over 40 years old. Our bogs are between 90 to 95% water content, and they are drained down to approximately 80% before we put any machines onto them. Hence then the large wheels and the caterpillar wheels. The purpose of these wheels is to distribute the weight of the machines while travelling on the bog. Now the company you're in is a semi-state company called Braddock. You're here in the Blackwater Works, and out on the right hand side you can see the back of the workshop area. Extra 130 seasonal workers who go out and harvest the milled peat. So that's our product, milled peat. It's a fine powdery peat, and we supply it to Shannonbridge Power Station for the generation of electricity.
Good Lord.
They employ 250 people.
Water bog, and it's part of the Bog of Allen. The Bog of Allen is the largest stretch of raised bog covering most of the Midlands or centre of Ireland. 17% of Ireland is covered in bog, and Braddock, the company, owns approximately 7% of the total percentage.
Yeah, he ought to be here.
Now this farmer has approximately 150 acres of land. As you can see, it's good green grass or your typical mineral soil. In comparison, our bogs, after the last ice age, his land would have been on a gravel uplift or a hilltop. We would have been a hollow or a basin. When the glaciers retreated, they landed in the hollow. They then melted to form lakes. So at one time he was surrounded by water.
What's the name of the
Our bogs
orchids,
then
Peter?
started to develop in the lakes. They grew until eventually they broke the surface of the water. They continued to grow by 7.5 metres. It has been recorded in some areas up to 12 metres deep, which is quite deep. Now also in Ireland, along the west coast of Ireland, on some mountain tops, you would have blanket bog. Blanket bog is between 2 to 2.5 metres deep. So there's a big difference between the depths of the two. Now this farmer has only one roadway into his farm, and I'll show you that as we go back around first. It's literally when we go back in you'll be able to see it.
The railway.
The content down to below 50 before it will be accepted by Shannonbridge Power Station. On day 3 then, a ridger goes out. It has 2 scrapers in the shape of a V. It travels down through the field, scraping up all the loose peat into a very small ridge. This small ridge of peat is then collected on day 4 by a harvester, which picks it up from one field and throws it onto the next field. They start the throwing of peat from the outside of the 11th field and work their way inwards until they have reached the centre field, and here they create a stump pile.
Which is stockpile.
Now out on the left-hand side you can see Shannonbridge Power Station. Now there is no storage area over in Shannonbridge, so that means that we have to store the milled peat on the bog. In turn for us that means a couple of things. First of all, it means that we have to keep it covered during the winter months to protect it from the wind and the rain. We do this by covering it with polythene. It also means that we have to transport the peat into the station 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, here true. Now, how we today, the local 15
They send
Shannon
a
Bridge Power
million
Station has
tons a
an
year
output of 125 megawatts and produces
of
4%
heat to
of
this.
Ireland's total electricity. Now, it is the largest peat-burning station left in Ireland. Very lazy. We now use the machine.
Doesn't need
It would
any
have taken
rocking at
2
all.
men 2 weeks to cut enough turf for one household.
When we cut away layer by layer like that, keep going down.
Alright.
The further down you go, the better the quality. Usually the top surface area is really peat moss or moss peat quality. Here it's not a very deep section, it's about 10 or 12 feet, because we're out near the mineral soil, the agricultural soil here behind it. But from here to the farm is a very deep section. And initially when it was surveyed, it was about 42 feet.
Yeah.
42 feet again. And again, the bog varies. You can see the stagnant mosses, horticultural peat really on the top surface area. But it's all combustible material. It will all. You see very few cutting by hand now, but there are a few people still in the locality because it's all in the cut by machine. There are a few people still in the locality. Okay? I don't like to try it.
Brown in colour.
20,000 acres.
Now, they
Borgo.
also find bog pine. About 7,000 years ago, most of this area would have been covered with forestry. Due then to dramatic climate changes, this forestry did not survive. What happened then is our bogs grew rapidly up over the roots of the trees and over trunks that would have fallen. Today, when the men are out milling the peat and coming across the wood, it is very valuable. We take it from the bog and we supply it to a company called Celtic Roots. In Celtic Roots, they first of all dry it out. They do this by soaking it in sawdust. They then sculpture it into different figures such as clocks, herons, kingfishers. And then all the pieces are soaked in beeswax to keep them preserved.
That's a turf cutter. Monday morning, day 7 of our tour, and this is the Grand Canal which links Dublin with the River Shannon, which goes over to the west. And this is the Nashville Hotel, where we've had a very pleasant stay overnight, and we'll be here again tonight. That's going out west. We didn't ask for a monument, we just asked for a resting place by the canal. We've just come out of St Stephen's Park into the shopping centre, and the ladies have found a very reasonable little dress shop. And what we've got in front of us are 3 very, very handsome looking guys waiting for their wives. We've now got Grand Irish Mist coming down. This is the first rain that we've seen. Likes the jacket costing £495.
Oh, it's a very lovely jacket, did you see?
Yeah. Molly Malone, that's the shopping centre at Grafton Street, where the girls have just been. to Trinity College. We're in the stacks here. Philip's buying the Guinness. Bacon and cabbage. Bacon and cabbage. O'Connell Bridge and the River Liffey. That's the Halfpenny Bridge, or Halfpenny Bridge. The Goldsmith, and the Swift, now got a few. College, Big College. We found a TR4, held everybody up. Divine Retribution. Babs can't find her ticket. Barbara's found her tickets and she's deciding that she's going to say farewell now.
Okay.
Right.
Martin's coming as well, but he's on his own.
Right. It's easy enough to find. Anyway,
When you're on main road, you get into the turn off. Well,
Yes, I do.
it was undone, wasn't it?
We've travelled 1,000 miles in Ireland.
Oh, was that when you turned round and pressed it down?
And wonderful fun. Foot down all the time. Great weather. And now at the Dunleary ferry, ready for departure. And that will give us a round trip of 1,400 plus miles. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Arrived in the Llanberis Pass at Llanberis. We're about to go up the mountain rail. The mountain's completely cut away with quarrying for slate. that.
Do you think that's it proper?
Sorry, which one's that?
Which is the actual peak?
Here, just
Here
behind
or
us.
there?
Oh no, here. Just behind you. Up there. It's chilly. Peter's hit the sign. That's it, Peter.
Look at that then. It's all you can do just to show you the height that we're at.
That's the cloud coming from. From Holyhead we crossed the New Britannia Bridge over the Menai Straits and then went to Llanberis, where we caught the mountain railway to the top of Snowdon and back, and then we went through the Llanberis Pass, Capel Curig, and then we came up towards Llandudno, Colwyn Bay, and across the motorway non-stop home, arriving home at 10 o'clock with the light just fading and everything in order. Triumph TR3A YBY 644 covered just short of 1,500 miles without a hiccup. Well done. It's now Peter's job to clean the car. We had no rain at all and we're able to use the car to its very best and thoroughly enjoyed it. Many thanks to Ian and Mary for all their help in organising the tour and seeing us so well looked after.